To book hundreds of appointments every single month for any niche possible for your agency, I'd use cold email. Now, why specifically cold email? Because almost every human on the entire earth has an email account, right? Whether it be their personal email account, whether it be their business email account, you still have an email account, okay? And once you have that, we have a lot of volume. And with volume, because quote unquote Alex Ramosi, volume negates luck. And once you have a lot of volume, you can actually bump up the cold email and book a lot of appointments, okay? So in this video, I'm going to show the exact process that I use to book hundreds of appointments for me and my clients every single month. So you can do it yourself and basically repeat the whole process that I do, okay? So there are a few things you're going to need to actually book appointments. And this whole process I've used is actually getting me insane, reply rates, I'm getting bookings. For this campaign alone, even though we only sent 2,500 leads, right, reached out to them, we got, I think it was this campaign around like 20 bookings, like that was 2,000 and a half leads, 2,500 leads, right? So I feel like that's pretty good, especially if you can close at least one or two or three of them, comparing to the whole system I'm going to show you, which is so cheap. And getting these results is absolutely, the ROI is like through the roof. Okay, so there are a few things you're gonna need is the email inboxes, warm-up sending software, leads, offer, email copy, follow-ups, and optional, but you can have personalization. Okay, so for email inboxes, okay, that's I'm gonna go show the process. That's what I use and what I buy, and basically the exact process. So for email inboxes, I use MailSteady. Okay, basically what MailSteady is, it sells Outlook accounts, right? And eventually you can just buy a shit ton of Outlook accounts for really, really cheap and send at massive scale with good deliverability, right? We're landing in Outlook, we're landing in email inboxes, we're landing in SMTP inboxes, okay? And these days, there's a lot of deliverability issues with other providers, but so far I haven't seen any issues, and I suggest you try it out. Then for the warm-up setting software, I use PlusVibe. Okay, PlusVibe is like, if you ever heard of Instantly, Smart Lead, Email Bison, whatever. It's just like it. I guess it's a newer guy in a whole industry of cold email, and it's really really cheap. Right, I'm not sponsored by them, anything like that. I just really like them. Their support replies back to me like in a few minutes every single time I write them. So I had absolutely amazing results. And if you get even the $77 plan, $77 per month plan, you're having insane amounts of volume, and you can literally scale to the moon. Like literally you can send out tens of thousands of emails every single day without any issues. Okay, but especially having MailSteady being so cheap, you can send per one domain 600 emails per day, so you can literally scale it. Okay, now for the actual leads, so I have videos which I'm going to link in the description on how to scrape local companies, and it's a completely free method using Google Maps that you can scrape really really easily. Okay, so I show you the exact process on how to do it. Then the second option is actually the online professional, like online/professional companies. And there are databases that you can use to kind of scrape those, whether it be Apollo. Let me open it up and then I'll go over through each one of them. Boom, Crunchbase, and then LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn. So for Apollo, probably if you ever been in the email game, you probably heard of them. You just basically can create filters, right? United States, whatever, location filters. What I usually do is just kind of the job titles. I usually just pick out like the management level, owner, founder, CEO, and then it also include other ones. Then I kind of find the location of who I want to target. Mainly it's the United States. Kind of filter those ones out. Employees just depends on what type of niche my client is in, and then industry. Keywords. I usually just kind of try to stick off of search industries and kind of include keywords that, with the help of ChatGPT, of course, to have the best possible outcomes right here. Okay. Same thing is with Zoom Info, the exact same process. Crunchbase as well. LinkedIn is obviously LinkedIn. You can either have Sales Navigator for LinkedIn, and basically have people's vendors that can scrape me LinkedIn for really cheaply. For example, Sales Navigator searches, and you can get really big lists for fairly cheap. Okay. Now the difference between Apollo, ZoomInfo, and Crunchbase, Apollo is like kind of for like every use, right? You can either find local business, whatever. It works for everyone. There's like a huge list, probably the biggest database, if I were to say so. Zoom Info is like more of professional type of companies, like bigger enterprise companies. Crunchbase is like good for startups, SaaS companies, that kind of stuff. So there's like a few different, differences between them, but they all work. Now also you can want, if you want to, you can find like scrapers like on like Appify that you can, kind of set, for example, Apollo scraper, and you can find and search scrapers that can basically get leads from your Apollo search, basically. Okay, so this is how you find the leads. Okay, now the cool thing is also you need to offer, because I feel like outbound is the main thing to make it work is actually the offer. So to make an offer work, let's go right here. To make an offer work, my best, I guess, idea of creating a good offer is what does your my writing is so bad. Does your ICP, right, ideal client persona, want most, right? That's the most simple question in the earth, right? But it's so simple that it's really easy to understand. Like, what does your ICP want most? They don't want Facebook ads. They don't want Google ads. They don't want SEO. They want what those platforms bring them, whether it be leads, whether it be jobs, whether it be, more patients, whether it be more clients. They want the end result. Okay. Now, tying to the end result, you want to actually know like how much is realistic. So, for example, with remodeling companies, you can say them, I'll get you 2 to 3, kitchen remodeling jobs a week, a month. Okay. For like med spas and such, you can do the same. I'll get you 2 to 3, Botox patients in the week. Okay. You don't have to be over the world. The times where you have to guarantee crazy results and then you get a bunch of replies and bookings are ending in my eyes, right? People are in a trust recession and people don't care anymore, right? I'd rather be more human and, let's say, promising something that is actually achievable. I've seen it have better results than guaranteeing something crazy which they will not believe and either won't reply to you or just say fuck off and never email me again. Okay? So that's how you create a good offer. Just answer what does your SCP want most. And even if you have used AI like ChatGPT, Perplexity, or whatever, Claude, then just feel free to do so. Kind of work on it. And what is the end result they want? Not something that you want to sell them, but what is the end result that you can, promise them? Or not even promise them, just achieve them, because that's the end goal. If you want to get them as a client, then at least get them some results. Okay. Now the other thing, since we have all of these checked in, is email copy. Now I'm gonna give you the templates that I use to get these results, right? So I shouldn't be giving this for you for free, but I'll giving you the email copies that worked, right? I obviously made them at like templates and such. So for example, the initial cold email is, "Hey name, I noticed your recent project for client name at project location, and I had a question." This is a personalized line, right? How to create such personalized lines is I mentioned in this video. Personalization, which is not optional. How to personalize 1000 plus cold emails using AI, step by step. Again, it's like almost a completely free process. I think it costs like $5 a month, if I remember correctly, since I use a bit more scalable processes. So yeah, we work with testimonials, so just kind of mention your testimonial. If you haven't got any, then just kind of don't. Go from 1 to 2 book jobs per week to around 6 to 8 book jobs every week. I think it is the same for company name. Would you be down for a quick call to see how it works? Right? A really simple email. It isn't long, it isn't, salesy or anything like that. We just kind of mention, hey, I saw you did a project for this guy. We did this for another client. I think we did the same for you. Do you want to have a chat? Right? That's almost like a simple conversation you have with like an in-person meeting, because that's exactly what you want to do, right? You don't want to sound salesy. You don't want to be someone who sounds like a spam person or anything like that. Just be quick with it. No one wants to read, huge paragraphs. Be quick with it, and this is how you get good replies and actually bookings. Okay. Then you have follow-ups. Here I've included 3 follow-ups. What I usually do, I just stick with kind of like 2 follow-ups, and that's it. Okay. Now for different industries, for example, if you have a huge lead list, then you can use 2 follow-ups and that's enough. If you got like a small lead list, then what I would be doing is have like these follow-ups, then change the subject line on this one and add like a few more follow-ups right here, right? Like up to like 9 follow-ups. This way, it looks like a new thread someone has seen, even though it's the exact same thread, but it just looks like a new email went through, basically. Okay, so for the follow-up one, like, hey name, figured my last name might have gotten buried. That's usually where people just kind of finish their follow-ups, but we don't want that. We actually want to give like value, more info on what we do. We help company type, for example, kitchen remodeling companies go from, 1 to 2 jobs to 20 jobs a month. That's a bit too much, but let's just say, for example's sake, without, using Facebook ads. Or even if you're using Google ads, you can say without Facebook ads because why not, right? And not saying it's magic, just saying we've done it for example, a case study of yours. Want me to send a quick 2 minute breakdown of how that worked, right? So that's a follow-up that we kind of use, not that much to be honest. We just kind of do it, just kind of break the pattern, right? Because why not? Or you just can ask for, have you got like 15 minutes sometime this week for a quick call, right? That's kind of it. Okay. Then the second follow-up is, hey name, we have a client name, and he also does, for example, kitchen remodeling. They were, for example, burning ad spend on leads that ghosted. Okay. 60 days later, working with us, they were booking 6 to 8 jobs a week. And are you open sometime this week for me to show you how it would work for you? Right? Again, really simple social proof, and that's kind of it. Then the third follow-up is the pattern interrupt. Like, name, if I showed you a way to get 6 to 8 jobs a week without, you know, using Facebook ads, without using ads, without burning money, would you be open to seeing how it works? And I'm not trying to sell you over email. Just show you. I just want to show what's working for people who are already doing, X. And worth a 10-minute chat or no shot. Right? That's kind of simple. So again, I use only 2 follow-ups usually. I just gotta include the third one if you want to use another one. How to put a in email follow-ups. And yeah, that's the exact whole process. So literally, go into mail study, then buy some accounts, right? Go into Plus Vibe, register. Mail study adds those accounts into Plus Vibe automatically, so you literally don't have to do anything for it. Then get some leads. Depends on the amount of volume you want to actually send, but honestly, at least I send a few hundred, like 300, maybe 600 emails per day, because it's really possible to do it through Google or like Apollo. It's really easy, really cheap. And then do that, create an actually good offer that is your ICP wants most of for the end result. Copy these email copies and make it for yourself. And then if you want, include some personalization and you'll be absolutely good. So this is the exact, system that I use. Like literally, I'm not even removing nothing. This is the exact system that I use to book hundreds of appointments every single month for me and my clients. And I want you to do it yourself and just let me know how it goes because I know this shit works. Right? So yeah, I appreciate you. If you want to work with me one-on-one, it will be the first link down in the description. You can schedule a call, strategy call with me. I'll do an audit of your business and see if there's any way we can help. If not, I'll let you leave the call with some valuable actions that you can use yourself to book more appointments without needing anyone else. Okay? And if you want a done for you approach, you can work with us. Okay? So yeah, appreciate you. Have an amazing day. All of the links I mentioned, I'll be including in the description. And bye bye.